Get ready to get in the game. Stretch, strengthen, live, and thrive. You can be a winning athlete in the game of life. It's the Peel Appeal with author and corrective exercise specialist Matt Peel.
Hey, welcome to the Peel Appeal podcast. This is Matt Peel. How are you today? What's happening out there in your world, wherever your world is? Because as I'm learning on the Peel Appeal podcast, the world is very small. Interviewing people that are from one country, that are in another country, that want to talk in multiple languages. I really only speak English, but they still know multiple languages, and that's pretty far out and amazing. So I love what I do. I'm hoping you're going to love today's episode because I am speaking with a true, confessed, personal, and professional development junkie. I mean, I thought I was one, but this lady takes the cake, but she's also super human, super awesome. She's a peak performance coach, global speaker, works with mindset manifestations. But the best part of it is that she actually didn't start out this way. She's retired from real estate in 2020 to pursue her childhood dream and divine purpose with the mission to raise the consciousness of all of you precious billions and billions, as The Rock says, one human soul at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to live, love, laugh, and learn. With game changer, peak performance, manifestation, and mindset speaker and coach, Suzan Peltekian. Hey, Suzan, how are you?
Hello, Matt. What a brilliant introduction. I'm so awesome, so grateful to be here with you. How are you, young man?
I'm great. And as we're recording this, ladies and gentlemen, out there, she is from Toronto, Canada, coming to us in Dubai. One North America to the other hemisphere. This is insane. And this is why I love what I do. So how are you? What's happening over there in Dubai?
Oh my goodness, what's not happening here? I tell you, but I love your city so much, and I can't wait to come back and visit you guys. You're so awesome. Matt, thank you so much for having me. Tell me, how are you today?
I am fabulous here in the New Orleans area. As we record this, we're having one of those few weeks of the year where it's low humidity, sunny, mid to upper 70s.
Ooh.
Getting ready for the sauna. That always happens every summer. So we get out and enjoy. This is called festival time here in the New Orleans area because there's festivals all over the place. And that's why we live here and love to get out and enjoy what's happening in our world.
Love it.
So real estate, now into peak performance coaching, global speaker. What triggered this?
What triggered it, the truth is, this is the only thing I've ever wanted to do. Like many people, I never believed in myself, Matt. So it was a journey. It was real estate. Before that, it was mortgages. Before that, it was mortgage underwriter. Before that, it was debt collector. Before that, it was a flight attendant. Before that, it was a teacher of English as a second language at a college in Toronto. I did it all, jumping around, just looking for the solution outside. And the irony is, all I teach is that the solution is within. You call me a superhuman. I was about to say, please don't believe him, ladies and gents, but that would be diminishing me. Everyone is a superhuman. It takes one to know one. Thank you for that. And I'm here to supercharge our one planet, as you said, our one human race. And it's one human soul at a time for you to know your divinity. So thank you for that, Matt.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're welcome. So mindset is important in everything that we do, from fitness to careers to family, and how we react to situations. I was listening to Bob Proctor the other day. I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Proctor. He's actually from Canada. He passed away a few years ago. One of the things he was talking about when you go into problems or situations, he said, like, three things, right? You accept it, find the good, and then forgive. Like, forgive yourself of whatever issues or ailments you have going through that. So talk to us a little bit here about mindset and the power of mindset.
so grateful you listened to Bob. First of all, he was one of my mentors, by the way, before he
Oh,
passed away.
wow.
And so many people think I'm one of his coaches. I'm not. I've opened my own company. It was one decision I made. He teaches decision, and we're all, whoever's listening in, we're one decision away from a completely different life, one decision away from complete magic and miracles. And I literally made that one decision cold turkey as a realtor right before COVID hit. It was January of 2020 to retire from real estate, as you brilliantly shared. And at the time, the number one Remax real estate company that happens to be a Canadian one, Matt, that I wasn't working with. I was working with another Remax. They filled up all of my spots during COVID. And I'll
Wow.
tie that in with the power of mindset. Mindset, and Bob would say that is literally everything. And everything is a mindset. And perfectly before you hit that record button, I was saying like fitness, it is all mindset. And it's actually a self-image. And I was just sharing with you how much I love it. I didn't continue your podcast and what a brilliant difference you're making for our mankind, because it starts with fitness. Fitness of a mind lives in the body, and the fit body lives in a fit mind, and vice versa. So I would say mindset is literally everything. Bob would teach us that it's 95% of life is mindset. The other 5 is skill set, planning, the rest. The more I become awake and aware every day, Mike, I'm realizing that mindset is truly everything, because there's no plan that you can do if you don't have the mindset. Same
Right.
with the workout plan or a business plan or any other plan for that matter. Makes
Yes,
sense?
you're absolutely correct. And in the mind and body, there is a connection. It's interrelated. There's a term in fitness we call regional interdependence, and what that just means is that the physical body is connected. Just because I have a pain in my ankle doesn't mean it maybe started in my ankle. Maybe it started in my knee or started up in my hip, but I just feel it in my ankle because of now the compensations I have to make, the way the body's interconnected. And then the brain plays a big piece of that with the nervous system, and then how we do our movement patterns, which I think then comes into what you're talking about with mindset, and that's our movement pattern. So if our movement pattern is maybe towards a little bit negative energy, but that's what we're used to, we have to use a power of mindset to change that movement pattern into a more positive role. So one of the things you talk about with that is like living your juiciest life by design on your terms. So tell me a little bit about that and how we can change our movement patterns for it.
Oh, I love that. And I love what you described there. I didn't know the word for it. If you could repeat that, but I knew it, the concept of it, which is the same as life with the body. Like if it's one area, right? It would be
Right.
child trauma, therefore someone's not earning money or not able to attract the juiciest love or whatever it may be. Everything is interlinked. What did you call that, Matt? I didn't know that.
It's
'Cause I don't
called
think
regional like regions of the body,
uh-huh.
interdependence.
Ooh, regional.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so you can definitely use that, like you said, regions of your career, regions of your family, regions of I don't know, maybe your friends, whatever they may be. We are all interconnected with our relationships. Some people have different friend groups that don't mix. For me, all my friend groups mix. A friend years ago said,
Oh.
what you do is you create trail mix. I don't know how you do it. You got salty, you got sweet, you got fruits, you got nuts, you got everything. You just dump it in the bag, and when you stick your hand in there and pull it out, it just all makes sense. I don't know how you do it. This is what her saying, I keep my friends here and here and here. And I said, I don't know any other way. I just put everybody in and shake it up, and good things happen.
I love it. And now you made me create trail mix. I love trail mix. I love what you're doing. That's your gift. That's your
That's
gift.
my
See, one
gift.
of your gifts. One
There
of
it
many.
is.
One of multiple gifts. Yes, yes, indeed. So back to the juiciest life. It all starts with whoever's listening into your brilliant podcast, taking pen to paper and writing out that vision. Um, Matt, you asked what brought me to here from real estate, and I said this is all I've wanted. But of course, because of my mental programming called paradigms, my habitual ways of being, I never believed in myself. But all I wanted to do was this. But I wanted to get on the stages and rah people. I knew that one of my gifts was like this enthusiasm, being bubbly, being loud. And then when I learned from Bob, actually, particularly, that the only prerequisite to having it all is knowing what we want. And there's a caveat: we don't get what we want, we get who we're being. That's self-image, identity piece, self-concept. I'm like, oh, forget about rah-rahing people. Zig Ziglar says it's like bathing. You got to do it every day, right? So there is a big aspect of motivation in what I do because of my bubbly personality and my blind faith in every human being. I believe everyone is God's child,
Yes.
and we're using the word God, thank you, interchangeably for whoever's stopped by the word God. It can be Gus, that's God, universe, spirit, infinite intelligence, co-creator, whatever floats your boat, really. To know that you are actually the divine. Your co-creators. Don't believe a word I say. We'll talk more about it should it come up. We're such powerful co-creators, and I want everyone to know their divinity. So, and that starts with literally putting pen to paper, being crystal clear on what we want. More than 99% of the people that I talk to first met don't have a vision. They don't know what they want. That also means two things can't occupy the same space. If I don't know what I want and I'm not focused on it, then I'm focused on the opposite of what I
Right.
don't want. And the universe doesn't hear the negation, it keeps giving it to people, unfortunately. Right? So, first step is to create the juiciest life, is to create the juiciest vision. From there, knowing that that's the only prerequisite to having it all. After that, we don't get that unless we're acting as if part is the self-image. So to start with writing a short paragraph about who we truly are, and
Yes.
then
And
act
it's
like that. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, it's true.
No.
You're right. Your purpose. And what's your purpose? If you haven't written your purpose down, then you don't know how that's guiding you along the way. Is what you're doing aligned with your purpose or not? Is it close? Is it not close? Yeah, I recite my purpose to myself every morning after I have breakfast. I just say out loud, what my purpose. My purpose is to help people. Um, be healthy and fit basically, and be who they want to be in their minds. That's what I want to help them be. And the more people I can help, then the greater my happiness is, the more people I can get into that. So am I doing everything that aligns with that on a daily basis? And that's how I do my check-in. And you're 100% correct on that. If you're not lined up on that and shifting your paradigm by repetition, as Bob Proctor used to say, right?
Yeah.
Repetition, repetition,
Yes.
repetition, then you're not going to get there. So where do you see people getting stuck in this process of creating their juiciest life? Like where is kind of the main area you see some stuckness with? Is that even a word? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm so grateful you repeated repetition. It truly is key, just like how we learn how to walk, just like how we learn how to ride our bike. 30 years later, we can still ride it. Um, and our entire work with the mind gyms, if I may, no different than working out, is putting it on autopilot, that it's in the paradigm, that's part of the brilliant paradigm now in our subconscious, as part of our self-image, that we train every day. Like the minute you said I'm in Dubai from Toronto, the minute my plane landed, I went to the gym and hired a trainer. I've had a trainer for over 20 years. So this is just part of my paradigm now, right? It's so important. So thank you for mentioning that, Matt. I would say the number one part is not knowing what they want, and then and it all starts with childhood. We were told some of the biggest lies. We were 2, 3, 4 before going to school, and we were dreamers. One minute we were doctors, the next minute we were astronauts, and then most of us were told a version of shut up and sit down at the corner, and we stopped dreaming. And that is what I see the most, that most are having such a hard time to even come up with what they want.
Yeah.
That, and then of course believing it once it is there, and that's the work we do, and repetition is key. But it's coming up with that vision, knowing that there are no considerations. Age is a lie. It's all man-made, right? Time is a lie. It's man-made illusions, right? And most of us have bought into, myself included, of course, into these, well, what is a belief? Thoughts repeated over time become our beliefs. And in the word belief in English, there's a big word, LIE. And most of our beliefs, if they're getting in the way, then they're limiting beliefs, and they're big lies, quite frankly. And we're here to talk about them today, Matt, and dismantle them, okay?
That's yes, correct. It is the lies that we've allowed, and this allowed people to tell us and then believe them. And you're correct. When we are kids, you ask kindergartners, "What do you want to be?" I want to be a dinosaur. I remember that distinctly when I went and helped out a kindergarten class one time. I want to be a dinosaur. Yeah, I want to be a fireman. I want to be all these things. And then yeah, we get to, I don't know, middle school, fifth-ish, sixth-ish grade, seventh-ish grade, and then I don't know if reality sets in, but yeah, things change, right? Maybe we don't want to be the dinosaur anymore. We do want to be an actual fireman. But yeah, we're told, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, 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 no. Money doesn't grow on trees. You don't have money, whatever it is. And these become our beliefs. So we have to unlearn them to get unstuck. And you're right, with the paradigm and repetition, when we're talking about even, I'll use a sports analogy for it because I'm a Sporty Spice guy. So
I
like,
love
doing Sporty Spice. Yeah, I'm not arts and crafts spice. I'm Sporty Spice. So don't ask me to glue anything together because I'm terrible at that. I'll glue my own fingers. So we get to like doing free throws. Like we'll do a basketball example. Right? You shoot free throws every single day for decades. It's not they shot free throws in high school and said, I'm never going to practice that again. Right? So that's changing your paradigm. It's doing it over and over again, but in a positive way. So when you're creating your vision, as you were saying, how can we change that paradigm for our vision to be really what we want and give ourselves permission to dream?
Absolutely. It's so. How do we do it? You said, or do we do what? What was the
How
exact
do you,
question? Sorry, Matt.
how can we give ourselves permission to dream again, to create that vision that you work with your clients on?
Oh, okay. So specifics, absolutely. Yes, the great question. Thank you, Matt. I invite anyone listening in to literally turn the phones off because these things don't allow us to think much unless we're using them, as you said, for us earlier. Like we're one marvelous, infinite, magical mind. Got awareness that there's internet. Bob would always tell us that internet's always been here, and I didn't understand everything is energy. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. So everything you want is also here. We just need to get on that frequency. The first step would be to turn these things off. You have the same genius as that precious soul who got the awareness that there is internet. We're just not comparing a fish to a bird, if you will. Each one of us has our own zone of genius. It's to be in the practice of that. So I always invite my clients to turn off the phone, to actually schedule time in their calendar, and if they want to be spontaneous, even better. I love that. But to make sure that they're going to actually start writing down from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep, a couple of pages. In an ideal world, what does their life look like? uh, who are they waking up with? Where are they waking up? What contribution are they making to our mankind? What businesses are they in? What charities are they donating to? What work class travels do they have? What does their body look like? How do they feel? Um, Friendships, family contributions, toys, all sorts. Because a lot of people have that idea. Most of us grew up with that, like money doesn't grow on a tree, and we don't realize that money's one of the most spiritual things we can actually have, because then we can actually support the world instead of not the opposite, right? So it would really be just to turn the phones off and to stop and think without consideration of time gone by, Matt, of time that hasn't gone by, of what we have in the bank account or what we don't have. Again, shutting off our senses when it comes to the 3D of what we don't have, and like going to our higher faculties, which one of them is imagination, and going to that place of, well, what would really I want if there were no considerations, and literally take pen to paper. That I don't want to create hard because everything is created in language. That's also energy, right? In case someone is stopped there, we can start with the easiest thing of actually making a list of what we want. Let's say the story is coming more difficult. We're having more difficulty coming up with that. Vision is write down 100 things. It all starts with one. Once you take pen to paper, it'll start, well, what kind of, contribution, what kind of business, what kind of job would you like? Would you like to quit your job? Would you like to be self-employed? What kind of charities? And then you could take from that 100 list of wants and put it into a 2-pager of a story. From then, create the self-image, which is a bunch of I am statements about who you truly are, not the self-image they gave us, the big LIE. And it must be in the present tense, the vision also, of course, because the subconscious mind only understands in the present tense. So I am. So for example, for me, I never saw myself as an athlete because I never was athletic, or so I was told. And then thankfully, I hired a trainer since then. Now, all I look forward to, I'll give the perfect example, my way of being so bankrupt, so many ways of being, Matt, in fact, that I've had that have been bankrupt, was like, even as I had the trainers, just get it done. And so many of us have it, just do it. And it's like basically half, A star, right? ED.
Right.
And then now my trainer, like I never get a cold. In 20 years, I hadn't gotten sick. I got sick twice here, and I show up. Like my minimum 3 days a week with the trainer they're just my minimum standards, right? And then now the beast is back now that the cold's gone, and he had me stop at 10 or 12. I'm going to 15. I'm like, oh, I said, make me work. This is the reason I wake up in the morning. I meditate, I hydrate meditating, then I go to see him, or I do my jogs. Like today was a jog. It's a Sunday as we're recording this, in case.
Right.
So there's no trainer today. But so it's really the vision and then a short paragraph of the self-image. So I took away the lie of I'm not an athlete. Now I push myself more than he's pushing me, because that's it. I know that there are consequences to doing things not right the right way the first time.
Yes. Yes. No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. So as we wrap this up, I know one of your programs out there is the Miracle Mastermind, and people can go to your website and schedule time to make an appointment with you and discuss that. So I highly suggest you go do so. So tell everybody what your website is, some of your social media, and how they can maybe sign up for a newsletter or any ways to get in touch with you.
Oh, that is fantastic. Thank you, Matt, for everything you're doing and for having me today. It's such a joy being here with you. I'm at Supercharged with Suzan on IG. Superchargedwithsuzan.com is my website. And yes, anyone listening in, specifically to your podcast, I would love to connect. And if there's alignment, of course, it's all complimentary. I do a bunch of complimentary stuff every Monday in my Facebook group. I do lives to answer any mindset questions. Every Friday I'm there doing lives. Same, just to answer mindset stuff, anything around mindset, and the Mind Gym.
Right. So that's Suzan, Suzan. I know there's a lot of variations in spelling, so that way you go to the right person. So that's Supercharge with Suzan, SUZAN.com. Go check it out. If you like the color red, then you'll love her website, because she is in red, and everything is red, because that's why you live, love, laugh, and learn. Isn't that right?
I love it. You've really done your research, and I love how you said, yes, that's one of my favorites from childhood, live, love, laugh, and learn. And I love how you said it's to unlearn. And that's the work we get to do, Matt. We unlearn so that you can unleash into the fullness of who you are. Michelangelo's David. There's no one to become. You already are perfection in your DNA. Your ways of being, not so much, but I live in the biggest glass house. So I'm working on my ways of being every day. I mentioned a few bankrupt ones before. So that's the journey and the joy of being a human in the flesh, to unbecome everything without by unlearning. That's so fantastic that you're aware of all this. I didn't realize to what extent. That's magical to connect with you. Thank you so much, Matt.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So as we wrap up, thank you again, Suzan, for being on Supercharging this podcast episode from Dubai via Toronto. And I am coming to you from the New Orleans area. So y'all get down here and have a good time with us, because that's what we do. So until
Yes,
next
you do.
time, yeah. I love it. So until next time, thank you for listening to the Peel Appeal podcast. You can go to my website, mattpeel.com. Check out all the others podcasts on there. You can even go to Amazon and order my book, The Athlete in the Game of Life. You can read it. You can listen to it with me doing the narration, or you can read it on Kindle. Whatever works for you works for me. So until next time, this is Matt Peel with the Peel Appeal podcast. I will chat with you later.
Are you ready to get in the game? Get personal help, sign up for our newsletter, and pick up your copy of Athlete in the Game of Life, the book, all at mattpeel.com. Thanks for listening.